Hi homesteaders. So one of my friends sent me an ad on a property for sale that has a creek and a pond on it. So I'm out here at the head of the driveway, and this is the area. We're at 9,400 feet up here, and I mean, it's got some beautiful looking views. I mean, look at that. You can't beat something like that. So let's go ahead and drive up and find out what the place looks like. So I already drove back, so I know how to get there. So the driveway is overgrown with grass. He had it cut years ago and everything like that. So we're just gonna go back and check out what it looks like. So we're coming up to the big pond here. It's about an acre and about 18 feet deep at the bottom, and it stretches way up here. And then we're gonna cross a little creek. He's got a culvert down here that the creek water runs through over to the pond. That's what keeps the pond filled. And you can see how lush and green it is over here. And then up here, he had it excavated for a home site that he thought would be a good spot to build a home. So we'll drive up here, and then I'll get out and take you guys around. We can check it out together because I haven't gone out by myself. So this is the home spot he was thinking. So we'll have to do some investigation. I would have to figure out what's south, north, east, west for solar and everything like that. But I mean, it's pretty. Look at them views. I don't know if I would do a house here. I would probably do a house on that hillside, so that way you could get the snow-capped mountains in the winter and everything like that. But let's just go down and check out the area and see what it's all about. This property's way out my price range, but it's got good water on it, and it's one of the cheaper properties with water on it. And that's something I got to consider homesteading, is I'm running out of water on my property where I'm at now, and I'm going to have water hauled in. If I had a creek that runs year round and a pond, that's a lot better. So here we are at the culvert. We'll go down here, and you can see it's got to be a natural spring because the culvert doesn't have any water coming out, but the water's flowing. So I don't know if it's flowing through the ground or what's going on there. That's different. So over here, I don't see any water in here either, but it's running. Because you saw that water running, everything's green. So, somewhere in here, it might just be a natural spring under the ground. And that's what's pushing that water out the other side, because that water is flowing. So that is totally strange to me. And it's definitely getting drier the farther up I go. So this is where all the snow melt comes down. He said this is filled when the snow melts. So there's gotta either be groundwater pushing up, or there's gotta be a natural spring somewhere underneath this area, because that water is flowing. I mean, you can see right there, it's flowing through the rocks. It's going down. You can see the ripples of the water moving. But there's nothing, it's coming out of the ground. It's not coming out the culvert. So who knows? Might be a natural spring. That'd be an added benefit. But anyhow, he said that the pond is just over or around an acre big. It's 18 feet deep in the center. And he said even during the drought back, I think 10 years ago, whenever the big drought was out here in Colorado, he said it only dropped 2 feet. It never dropped more than 2 feet. So that left it 16 feet deep in the center. So that would be a real good thing for water. The goats and stuff could come over and drink. And I can tell just by standing here, you can see the depth to it. So he said years ago they put fish in it. He said he doesn't know if there's fish in here anymore. There used to be trout, rainbow trout and brown trout. And who knows? I don't see any fish yet. But it's something to think about. He's willing to do owner finance. So I've got to consider, you know, if he's willing to work with me or not. I've got to look around the property, check out the pond all the way around, see what I think. So far I haven't seen any fish. But I can tell you right now, just going out where that big boulder is in the water, that's got to at least be 3 feet, if not more, in depth. And I can tell farther out where the algae is, where you see the black pockets, it's deep. And I think it's down at this end that has the deepest section of water. So I'm going to walk up here so I'll show you guys a video of me falling into a pond and coming out soaking wet. But I mean, you can see it goes from algae over here where it's more shallow. I don't know if my phone will pick it up, to over here where it's completely black. So you know the depth change because the algae and stuff can't grow up like it is on the other side. And then we're coming back down here to algae at the end. So it's a nice sized pond. And if I ended up getting this property, I would work on it, clean up the pond and everything to help get the algae out. And then I would stock it with fish and probably put a little dock down here at the end or something with a rowboat so you could go out to the center or go down wherever you want it, or just make a path all the way around the pond so you had access all the way around to fish wherever you wanted to fish. And you can see the water is down some because this is just algae on here. It's about, I want to say, 2, maybe 2.5 inches down from the culvert. And what he was telling me is all the way down there, there's another pond that is on somebody else's property. And he said that pond goes dry a lot. Well, now we know why it goes dry a lot, because the water is not going down. It is staying here on this property. So I'm going to let you guys go. There's the truck up there. That's the home site he was thinking about. So that way you overlook the water. But I'm not convinced. I mean, from standing down here, yeah, that looks like a good place because you do overlook the water. But the only problem is, you know, you get all these lower mountains and you get the views. But I really like the snow-capped peaks, and you've got to come over here to get the snow-capped peaks. And that's why I said if I went up on this hillside, which is still the property goes all the way out to where I drove in. It's 50 acres of land. But if I came over here and built a house right here on this bluff, this is the view I would have. I would get all those snow-capped peaks. And the further I go on my property, the more snow-capped peaks you get to look at. So, I don't know. If I build a house, I'm thinking I would have to do it here because I want to have that view of all those snow-capped peaks. And I also get the view of all the other mountains that are around here. So I'm not sure which way to go. If I did get this, I would think I want the house here to get the snow cap. But at the same time, if I built the house over where my truck is, I do overlook a body of water. So it's just something to consider. And we can see there's animals out here. There's a pelvic bone and some vertebrae of a deer. And he told me to make sure I'm armed out here because he had a mountain lion stalking when he was out here before, because his parents own property up on the other side. They already sold theirs and they moved to Georgia. And now he's considering selling his because he doesn't think he's going to come out and build. So I'm going to let you guys go. This video's been a bit long. And I'm going to go walk around the trees and up the hill and check out the rest of the property on foot. So it's going to be too long for a video. I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll let you know what happens. Have a good day. Alright, homesteaders, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, but over here is the road that you come up, and then the driveway coming down through here. I'm up here on the bridge. The culvert is right there, and then my truck's over there at the building site. So I hiked up here. Like I said, it's really windy. Just wanted an aerial view. But I mean, it's pretty nice. Live happy, live free. That's the only way to be.